To approve swipes, you want to first start by clicking under Operations and then Daily Time Approval. Once you're in, you'll notice the date is shown here and it will default to yesterday's date. To change the date, you can either use the arrow keys to move forward or backwards one day at a time, or you can click in the date field to bring up the calendar and select a date from the calendar. Your employees will be grouped into several categories, and within each category a number will be shown to represent how many people are in that group. Here I have standard hours, missing swipes, variance, and no record. Standard hours means the employee has shown up on time and left on time, or they are working the predetermined standard hours amount. Missing swipes means they have punched in but have not punched out. Variance, they have punched in but it is not according to the schedule or the standard amount of working hours. If I hit this plus sign, I can expand the record and see who is in this category. And here it would list everyone that's in standard hours. I can then click here and open the individual record. And I can see the time she punched in, the time she punched out, and the total paid time. The next step is to approve the record. I can either approve the group or approve individually. To approve individually, I right-click on the name and hit Approve. To approve the group, I would right-click on Standard Hours and hit Approve. If I had multiple employees in standard hours, this would approve all of them. Hitting Approve asks for a confirmation. I'll hit OK. And then the records move to the approved category. Next, I have missing swipes. If I expand the record for Cam, I can see here he punched in at 6 a.m. but did not punch out. In this situation, I'll need to edit the record. To do this, I can right-click anywhere on the record here and say Edit. It will then bring up a window and I can enter in the time Cam left. Then I can hit OK, and the record will be saved. Then I can approve Cam's record. Next, we have variance. Variance means they've clocked in, but they're not working according to their schedule. Again, here I can see the in time and out time, and the total paid time for the day. With a variance, I can either choose to edit the record by right-clicking on the record and saying Edit, or I can right-click on the individual and approve it as it is. The final category we have is no record. Any employee you have that was not scheduled to work and did not clock into work and is not otherwise scheduled on vacation or sick will show up as no record. Most of the time you won't have to do anything with these types of records here. If you ever do need to add in a record, say they were actually working that day, you can do that by right-clicking on their name and selecting Add. And then you can select from the preset shift times by clicking here and selecting one of the shifts, or you can click right into the start and stop time and key in the time that the employee started. As well, when you're editing, there are several other things you can do. If we edit this record here, there is the option for time override. This allows us to enter the total paid time of the day without altering the in or out time. So if I type in 10 hours, it would pay 10 hours regardless of the start and stop time entered. This is typically used to override a lunch deduction. If you had an 8-hour shift with a half an hour deduction paid for a total of 7.5, you could enter 8 hours here to override that lunch. As well, you also have the option to change the default time calculation rule, change the department worked, the position worked, or the job worked. You can also enter a note on the transaction here.